Turkey's economy has been under severe strain for the past few years, with high inflation, low growth, dwindling foreign reserves, and a weakening currency. President Erdogan has been pursuing an unorthodox economic policy that relies on lower interest rates despite high inflation, arguing that higher rates cause higher prices. This has led to repeated clashes with the central bank, which has been forced to cut rates aggressively to appease Erdogan, even as inflation soared to over 80% last year. However, in a surprising move, Erdogan has signaled a major shift in his economic approach by appointing Mehmet Simsek as his new Treasury and Finance Minister. Simsek is a former finance minister and deputy prime minister who served under Erdogan between 2009, and he is widely respected by financial markets and international investors for his orthodox and pragmatic economic management. He is seen as a supporter of central bank independence, fiscal discipline, and market-friendly reforms. Simsek's appointment suggests that Erdogan has recognized the need to restore confidence in Turkey's economy and address the cost of living crisis that has eroded his popularity among voters. Analysts expect Simsek to reverse some of the unorthodox policies of the previous government and implement more conventional measures to rein in inflation, stabilize the currency, and revive growth. This could include raising interest rates, tightening fiscal policy, attracting foreign capital, and pursuing structural reforms. Simsek's return to the helm of Turkey's economy is widely welcomed by domestic and international observers as a positive sign for the country's economic recovery. However, his success will depend largely on how much autonomy and support he will receive from Erdogan, who has a history of interfering in economic affairs and changing course abruptly. Simsek will also face significant political and social challenges, such as the upcoming local elections in March 2024, the ongoing pandemic, and the regional tensions with neighboring countries. Mehmet Simsek is Erdogan's last best hope for economic recovery in Turkey. Simsek, a former finance minister and deputy premier, is highly regarded by financial markets and could set the stage for interest rate hikes in the coming months to tackle Turkey's cost of living crisis and other strains. Simsek was appointed as Treasury and Finance Minister on Saturday, signaling a major U-turn on the part of Erdogan, whose long-held unconventional economic view relies on higher interest rates cause higher inflation. Simsek's appointment could mark a departure from years of unorthodox policy underpinned by low interest rates despite high inflation and heavy state control of markets. Simsek was highly regarded by financial markets when he served as finance minister and deputy prime minister between 2009, and he was seen as a key figure in steering Turkey's economy through a period of rapid growth and stability. He also advocated for fiscal discipline, structural reforms, and EU integration. Simsek's return to the cabinet could restore some confidence in Turkey's economic management, which has been eroded by Erdogan's interference in monetary policy, depletion of foreign reserves, expansion of state-backed credit schemes, and unchecked inflation expectations. Simsek's main challenge will be to convince Erdogan to allow him to implement more orthodox economic policies, such as raising interest rates to curb inflation, which hit a 24-year peak beyond 85% last year before easing. He will also have to deal with a large external debt burden, a widening current account deficit, and a weak currency that has lost more than half of its value since Simsek has said he will work to restore macroeconomic stability, strengthen the central bank's independence, improve fiscal transparency, and implement structural reforms to boost productivity and competitiveness. He has also pledged to cooperate with international financial institutions and investors to attract more foreign capital. Simsek's appointment has been welcomed by some analysts and investors, who see him as a pragmatic and experienced policymaker who can steer Turkey away from a potential economic crisis. However, Others remain skeptical about his ability to overcome Erdogan's resistance to change and his influence over key economic institutions. Simsek faces a difficult task of balancing Erdogan's political priorities with economic realities. He will have to prove himself quickly as Turkey faces local elections in March 2024, which could test Erdogan's popularity and his grip on power.